So Highlevel just keeps getting better and better, and there's a whole bunch of new releases that just came out with a bunch of updates that you're going to be incredibly happy with, because these are absolutely awesome updates that you don't want to miss. So stay tuned as we go over all of them. All right, so there's been a lot of movement inside of Highlevel in a lot of different areas, and we're going to kind of break it apart into like the different areas and the different updates that we've seen that we really, really like. Now, honestly, there's over 200 something updates this month, so we're only going to go over the ones that we believe are super critical, that are going to be incredibly easy for you to access, and more importantly, they're going to enhance your ability to use the tool and actually just kind of give you better results, right? So first and foremost, if we go in and we go to sites and we go to our website builder, I'm just going to go in this fake demo one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to hit edit. Now, there's been a couple of enhancements to the actual styling of what you can do inside a Highlevel as far as animations, and more importantly, just things you can do with like CSS in general. So if I come over here and I highlight any text that I see here, what I can now do is, you're going to notice on the right hand side, there is now this cool automations function. Now, this thing is super cool because anybody that comes from the WordPress environment, you can now fade things in, move them up, have them down. Honestly, there's so many cool ones here. So now you can have any kind of text automations go in a certain direction, or come in or do some kind of flips or do whatever you need just to bring extra attention to your headlines or whatever you need to. And honestly, these are pretty cool. You can even control if they're coming in from the left or the right, and so forth and so on. And so far, these are the first of what I've been told of a lot that are going to come through. But just again, super cool that you can do this. The other thing that they did when it comes to images, they now have an advanced area where you can add box shadow very easily. So for instance, if you come in here and I go to box shadow, I can easily add more of an outer shadow. See, so you can have that outer shadow look, or, make it an inner shadow, whatever you need, and again, you can mess around with this. I'm not a great stylist, but you guys get the point, and you can spread it out and kind of have it make it going on. And actually, I think it works a little bit better with like clearer images, but the point of the matter is that now you have the box shadow ability. You now have the ability of having animations right here on any kind of text that you see fit. And again, it has so many here. And again, I've been told that this is only the beginning of certain automations as they come in, which I think is super, super cool. Another update inside the builder is, this might kind of gone unnoticed because some people might not really understand what this is, but if you highlight this now, there is something right here. I don't know if you saw it. It kind of appears. This is called the rich text editor. Now, this rich text editor has a lot of new features that we're super happy about. First and foremost, it has the ability of controlling headings. And anybody that's in the SEO remembers that it's very important to have headings. So now you can control your heading 1s and heading 2s, which is most important inside of SEO. But now you can also go to 3s, 4s, and 5, and without jeopardizing your SEO inside the account, which I think was really good. You have the selection of different kinds of text, and now you can make this one version text and another one another version of a text. So if I come in here, see, this one could be open sans and the rest could be something else. So for anybody that's doing really smart design work and is taking their words and they're making them fancy, you now have the ability to do that. You have the italics. You can do anything you pretty much want. And again, for us, this is the custom values. So now you can add custom values of anything that can be used inside the account to push it forward. Now remember, in order for you to use these you want to make sure are custom values, so you can push the custom values, make it a value for the entire account, and then it'll show up on your actual site. So super cool that this is happening. There's also subscripts and superscripts, which again has been a real pain in the butt for a lot of people. But the fact that this is here now, super big enhancement. We're fully approved on this one. I love it. But again, slight but super powerful. Make sure you take advantage of that one as we kind of go through all of these. Hey, we want to interrupt this video for a quick little minute to just let you know that I hope you're enjoying this video. We want to thank you for being here, but more importantly, we are hoping that this content helps you do whatever you're trying to do inside a Highlevel. We also want to let you know that you have options to get additional help. We offer a $197 a month VIP coaching program that includes 4 days of office hours, first come, first serve, with Andy or myself, where we go in and we answer any of your questions that you might have live with the group setting for other people that are also working in Highlevel. We also have a VIP group where we answer questions directly one-on-one with anybody posting in that group to give you the absolute best support. It also comes with a bunch of other features, including our funnel brick system, our little mini course, and more importantly, a couple guides that'll help you through this, and also including our SOP library that we use for pretty much everything inside of our agency. So thank you for this quick little minute, but more importantly, go back to the video, get whatever you need. And if you have any questions that we can answer inside the video, just drop a comment on the video and we'll make sure to answer whenever we get a chance. And now back to the show. Now going on to the next update, which is going to be in calendars. One quick thing that I want to make sure you guys know, that when you guys go into settings and then go into your My Profile, inside of your My Profile account, there is an area now here that the calendar settings get set up. A lot of people are getting confused in exactly how to do this, but basically when you integrate your calendar to your Google, and again, for anybody that's been watching along, you would integrate in here. And then once you integrate in here, you go to My Profile. And once you go to My Profile, you go all the way here now and basically you add a calendar. You can connect a calendar directly in here. Here are your 3 selections, and just realize that video conferencing is now separate. So you're going to want to connect this here. And that's how you connect your Zoom. Again, these just change where things were. It's not a huge ordeal, but just understand that this has now been shifted here. Your user availability is all down here with the ability of time zones, meeting locations, and everything else. And this is the first update that I want to make sure you guys are aware of, that when you got to set up your calendars, you integrate your calendar first inside of, especially if you're using Google. If you're not using Google, you can integrate the calendars directly now into here when you hit add. And then when you do in here, this is where you're going to sync your calendar. This is also where you're going to connect and do all your conflicts to ensure that all your calendars are set up correctly. So that's number 1. Number 2, if you go into calendars now, silly one, but you have the ability of deleting groups. Before you could create a group, but you couldn't delete it. All you have to do is if you add a group, we'll just say this is the test group, right? Before you weren't able to, pretty much do anything in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. And now if you hit the 3 little dots, you can, do no normal things you can, which you can copy the scheduling link and the permanent link. But now you can also delete, which again, you couldn't do before. When it comes into calendars, a really cool update in here, right? If I come in here and I have my round robin calendar, I can go ahead and hit edit. When I hit edit, you will go inside. There's now really cool things that you can do here. You can have, if I come in here and I just put N, right? I now can have multiple meeting locations. So what that means is, let's make believe I want my Zoom showing, all right? And again, I can't connect Zoom, but if I had Zoom, I have here. Make believe the other one is I want them to call my number if they just want to get a phone call. Or maybe here I want them to, go to my address. I can put in the address. And now what's going to happen is when somebody goes in and they select an appointment, they'll have the ability of doing a drop down that will allow them to select anything that they need, right? So that's super important as you kind of go through, but multiple locations, pretty big win. The other thing that's really, really cool, if you now go into forms and payments, you now can change the order of the form and the date selector. So a lot of people wanted to do, let's say, an application before somebody fills out an appointment request or, fill out a form to tell us what the appointment's all about. Now you have the ability of inside of forms and payments inside your settings to basically come in here and switch these back and forth. So again, I can put my form first and then my date selector, or my date selector and my form, and kind of go through it. I can always have the ability of adding guests and so forth. Everything else pretty much stays the same. The other thing that's coming in is, again, a lot has come into the actual space of being able to update your calendar and the way it feels and looks. Just understand that you have a lot of things here now that you can do. And they also have the ability now of just coming in here and updating it and making it looking really nice. Just understand that that's available now too. But again, really cool. It can delete groups, can switch between the forms and the payments like you saw before. And now you also have the ability of going in here and stylizing this to the way you want it and a little bit better of a description. And it's easier to do, which I think is a great upgrade from what they were doing currently. All right. And the next set of updates is going to go around the e-commerce shop. A lot of attention in the e-commerce shop, which this is where, again, I think Highlevel does a really great job. They're trying to enhance it and make it a little bit better. The reason why these particular updates are important is because it's tending to go into where we're going to be able to connect shipping services. So then if we have physical products, we can actually ship the physical products, which again is a huge win. So to go into the e-commerce, for anybody that doesn't know, you're going to come in here, and when you go into your homepage, let's say this is a punk rock band that I believe Andy was working on for a site, which is really, really cool. But for instance, if I want to now create a store of these guys, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, I'm going to hit add elements. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a store, because this time I want to sell t-shirts of this particular band and I want to start shipping them out, right? Pretty cool kind of way to do it, right? And the fact that we have a store concept, that's actually even better. So what it's going to do, it's going to create a store element inside my website, and it's going to add the 5 critical pages. Now, if you want to show how to basically do this, you can go ahead and you can go inside of our YouTube channel, and you're going to see that there's an e-commerce area where you can go ahead and figure this out. Now, a couple things here that are important. One, there is these dynamic elements. These dynamic elements, for anybody that doesn't remember, is that these only update when you're actually previewing it live. And that's the whole point of the dynamic update here. But what you will notice is if I go back, remember, when you create the store, it creates not 1, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pages. And in the product details page, one of the updates that just recently came out, which is really, really cool, and you can do it exactly the way that Amazon does. Well, not exactly yet because it's still kind of new, but what you can do is if I have my cart here, I can now show related products. Now, the selection of which related products it is, it's still a little bit limited because this is what they're working on. We'll be able to manage what goes in and out of this, but just understand that now, even if you have like similar shirts or whatever else, you can now have related products in there. Now, let's go into the actual product set and all the changes that are coming up that are going to be related to being able to connect shipping services, right? Now, this is kind of the lead up, right? So we want to make sure that you fully understand that. Now, before, when you created a product, there was no really way to ship. You had to kind of make one flat price. So that's a little bit frustrating. Also, because at the same time, you have sales tax. For people that do multi-state shipping, you have to always calculate the taxes, and shipping and taxes is very different depending on the states they go to. Well, lo and behold, we now have taxes. So if you go into your products, all right, so again, everybody that we were in our product area here, but again, just to get there, payments, from payments, you're going to go to products, and then from products, you're going to notice that you're going to be in here. But before you do that, let's go to settings. If I now wanted to set taxes per state based on where I am, so make believe I have New Jersey. If I wanted New York, I would pay New York. And again, I'm not a tax expert. I don't know how exactly taxes work. All right, but for instance, make believe this is 8%, description, NYC, tax, and then tax ID number, whatever your tax ID number is, and some tax agency name is, this test, okay? So now that you have that all kind of like connected in there and you have your taxes, you're gonna notice shipping and delivery. Now here, what you can do is you can add a rate and you can add a zone. So for instance, if I wanted to just talk about the areas that I ship to, I can come here, I selected the United States. If I wanted to select countries, I can go in here pretty much and do that. And then in here, I can just go ahead and hit select edit. And now I have the USA rate. I can also add a rate depending on sizes or whatever else, or conditional pricing by item weight. And then based on item weight, I could say if the minimum weight is this and the maximum weight is this is what you're going to charge. So you have the ability of setting these. And just like other services, this is, because we don't have the instant connection to shipping, you're going to have to do this manually, but just understand that now it has the availability to do that. You also have the ability of editing your zone. Once you select United States, I can come in here and I can select only the states that I want to ship to. That way, again, I avoid from if I'm New Jersey, shipping to Hawaii is a very bad idea, especially if it's a large product, but it is a state and it's something that we just might not want to deliver to because of the cost, right? But again, now that I have the weight that I can add medium weight, whatever the actual weight is, I can put it in here. And you set up those two in here and along, but some people have been asking me about receipts. Receipts are enabled in here. Some people have also been asking, can I edit my receipt? You can create a template and do it in there and pretty much set that to be inside of there. Now, going back to our store, let's go back to sites. Or actually, let me go back. Now that we've set our taxes and our shipping rate that we've set up, the other thing that I can do now is go into products. When I go into products, I'm going to create a t-shirt product, right? This is going to be Misfits t-shirt. All right, for our rock band there, I'm going to come over here, I'm going to paste. All right, the collection is going to be shirts. If you want to collect other collections, like maybe this is heavy metal or cover band, whatever you want to do, right? And I put a little picture about what it is. Additional options, I can put SEO and everything else. I can go ahead and hit add. And now I have it right here, right? Now I'm going to charge tax on this product. Again, it's shirts. I don't know if you could or not, but whatever, you get my point. I would select all the charges tax on this individual product. It's going to be a one-time price of $27, normally $32. I only have, let's say, 10 of these shirts available. And what I got to do is if I want to get shipping and I want to get weight, I'm going to add a variant, right? The variant's going to be, come in here. The first variant's going to be size, obviously. So this is going to be small, medium, large. Okay. I'm going to hit done with this one. And then the second variant is going to be color, black, and then it's going to be white. Okay, cool. Now I got those two. I got my two variants and everything else. Now, SEO is if you wanted to, Misfits t-shirt, you want to make this a little bit more searchable. Again, I'm not an SEO expert, but you can use Strategy GP to create a nice SEO description of your shirt. And this would be Misfits, because that will be the actual, one or something like that, right? And you can create some SEO stuff for your store. But now this is all said and done. Now that I created the product, I have to go back in and I can set up my, I have 10 quantity, I have 5 of these, I have 10 of these. And you can do that. But the most important aspect of this is when you click on here, you could set the individual item weight, SKU numbers, and the available quantity that you have. So now you can go in kilograms and pounds and ounces. You could set these in here and you go back and you actually set your shipping rates. Those will automatically connect based on weight because it will understand the conditional logic and therefore it will actually be able to calculate the weight, which I think is pretty bright. So that's a couple things. You got the related items in here. You now have the ability of coming in here and selecting weights and adding weights, adding SKUs to make it a little bit more of a robust store. Now, again, this is not competing with Shopify just yet because Shopify has been in the game a lot longer. But for anybody that's kind of strapped and you just want to kind of quickly make a pop-up store, this is definitely getting on its way. The fact that you're able to ship, especially if you're doing like 1 or 2 single products and don't want to incur the additional cost of getting a Shopify account. I think it's a great addition. I think it's got a lot of work in progress, but the fact that it's moving so fast and getting all these features is a great big win. Also, another cool thing that's coming around in e-commerce is before you are not not allowed to create reoccurring memberships or reoccurring products inside of your e-commerce store. So for instance, make believe I have like a Loot Crate box or kind of like a membership to like a candy that I want to send out every month, you know, or replenish every 30 days. I now can create a recurring subscriptions in here, put my shipping and whatever else if I want to do that. And now I have the ability of creating a reoccurring product, which again, you were not able to do because the product wouldn't automatically pull in. But understand that now you have the ability to do that. And all it is you would come in here, you would just come back, create a product. And before, when you would create a reoccurring product and you would include it in the online store, the reoccurring product would not show. But now if you hit reoccurring and you say like $30 a month, right? You can now set up the monthly and now it will pull into the online store, which is something you couldn't do before. So anybody that's doing any kind of subscription products that are physical products, awesome for you guys. You now have the ability of doing that, which I thought was pretty awesome. All right, now let's continue on to forms. This is a pretty cool update. A lot of people that are old school that like the way certain forms are single line. There was always a pain in the butt because you had to do a lot of like CSS in order to do it. But lo and behold, there's some really cool updates that I want to share with you when it comes to this. First and foremost, if you go to pretty much selecting the form and you go to these two little lines up here, which says styles and options, when you go in here, you're now going to notice that there's the form type. So you can do where it's 2-column. You now also have the ability of single column where you can kind of go in and you can make one single column kind of form. That would go great inside, let's say, of a WordPress site or any other kind of site. So now you can eliminate, let's say, last name, like phone number, and you have the old school. Here it is. You can stylize it just the same, give it a little bit more feel width. See, this is only 20%. Maybe we want to do 60. Boom, look at that. So now you have the ability of doing that. You're also going to notice that there is a lot of choices here that weren't there before, the alignment of where things are, the way things look. So a lot of enhancements when it comes to inside the forms itself. The other really cool feature for anybody that is interested, I did cover this before, but a lot of people keep asking about it. We now can take a form and make it into a payment source. So what I mean by that is for anybody that's looking for, let's say you're running a donation kind of event and you're collecting donations and you want people to like kind of put their own amount. So what you can do now is you can collect payment and you can select the payment amount and people can actually put in the amount that they want to donate, do whatever it is. Some people have services where it's like, hey, buy me a cup of coffee, like a Patreon kind of thing. You now have the ability of doing that in the form. What's also cool, and there's enhancement coming to this over the next several weeks, is going to be the selling products. In here, you can come in here and sell a product and basically come in here, basically put any of your products in. So for instance, if I wanted to put in a t-shirt, right, I can add a description, I can add right here, and people can go ahead and buy my shirt directly in here. How cool is that? Now, understand that the shipping options won't necessarily work through here, I don't believe. We haven't fully tested it, so I know that that is coming. And now they also gave us the ability of adding a coupon right here on the center, so you can actually add the coupon amount. Now, according to what the developers told me, that they are going to also add the order bump option in here, which is going to make it really cool. So you're going to have the ability of like clicking an order bump for anybody on the form. So there is a lot of advancements happening in here. I think this is really super cool. And the fact that you can do all this is going to be pretty awesome. All right. Another really cool update is that one, the media storage has moved. Before it used to be in sites up here. Now it is in media storage. So when you go into media storage, you're going to notice that it's all basically in here. What you can do is new upload. You can create folders. So this can be test. Okay. And then if I want to go inside and into the test folder and I want to upload a new file, I can double click. I can come in here, new upload, and automatically upload the file. I can also search media or explore stock images. So now there's a better search function in the way that we have here. And believe it or not, if I have AI involved, I can actually have my AI images directly in here. But again, super big update that they had in here. I think it's pretty awesome. And now they have the ability of, you know, kind of seeing in like list view and also in block view, which again, really cool update. A lot of great updates in the last several months over the affiliate area, which again is up and coming. And I think it's great. So if I go to the affiliate manager and I go to my campaign, I now have the ability, if I want to create an actual sub affiliate. So I come in here, new course, waitlist, blah, blah, blah. I have the amounts of the funnel. I can link a funnel once it's, you know, fresh, meaning not when it's fresh, when it's live. And then I can come in here, I can set and customize my rewards by my product. But if you wanted to now have sub affiliates, meaning if you wanted to create the ability of like, let's say your regular affiliates get paid like 40%, your sub affiliates get paid 20. What you could do is you can come in here and you could start adding tiers based on that. So if you want to create like 3 tiers, let's say tier 1 is like the 40%, tier 2 is 25, and then you can get customized by product here. And then you can have tier 3, which let's say is only like 10% or 15%. And now they have the ability of creating, you know, again, this is your first tier, so this is going to be 50. And then you have your 3 tiers added that you can do. And now what you can do is you can put all your sub affiliates into one of those tiers. So I think that that's pretty freaking cool. And again, you can assign affiliate. Once you have the affiliates, you can then assign a sub affiliate, or the sub affiliate can have a page. And then you can, give them a particular form, put that form inside a sub affiliate page, and then your affiliates can get sub affiliates. And now you have a pretty robust system on how to collect all that, which I thought was a pretty good upgrade. All right. And last but not least, you're going to have some statistic updates for anybody that hasn't seen. There's been a lot of like kind of cool things at the dashboard. So when you first come in, you're going to notice a very good look and feel. The fact that you can now, again, for anybody that doesn't know, and you have the $497 plan, you can edit and customize dashboards. These now can be included into snapshots, which I think is pretty huge. But that's not only it. Inside of sites, you now have the statistic area. So if I come in here, just remember you have stats. And the stats, are getting a little bit more robust than what you can do here. You have sales, which is now separated. Security events, I'm not going to really go to, but you can also track event data going to Meta directly from here. If you wanted to add an event, now remember, we usually push Conversions API, but again, if you wanted to have it here, you can have that here too. And when it comes into statistics, you're going to come over here and you go to email services. In email services, you now have email analytics. So you could see everything that's going in here. And also you're going to have the ability of also tracking clicks. So for anybody that's doing any of the templates in here and you're doing a campaign, you can come in here and look statistics in here. So you can track how many people are clicking, what people are doing. Now, really important for anybody that wants to track clicks in particular emails. If you click on new, all right, you come in here, it's a new template, and that's not what I wanted to do. It's actually in campaigns, my mistake. So I'm going to click on campaign. I'm going to click on this new campaign. Again, make my email, do whatever I need to do. Then when I'm ready to send and schedule, you're going to notice that if you go all the way down, you now have this discover which links were clicked, how many times each links were clicked, and who did the clicking. Awesome update right there. That in itself is pretty cool. And inside of here, the sender email, if now I put, let's say nuno@test.com, and it's not the email that it should be going out of, it says, look, you seem to be sending from an unverified address. What this means is if there's not a match between the email that you're sending versus the actual sender email. So this most likely will go into spam. So just understand that. You always got to make sure that the domain you're sending out of matches the email you're putting in here. And what I mean by domain sending out of, if you come back to your email services, all right, so we're going to go into settings and we're going to go to email services. In here, you're going to come in here. And then remember, if this says Rapid Active CRM and I send from nuno@test.com, there's a mismatch. So you always have to make sure that the ending part of this matches whatever email you send out. So it should be nuno@rapidactivecrm.com, because then it's matching the actual lead connector system in here. And then once it does that, it will automatically go into, the right category, which is like in the inbox and not into spam, which is something that you would definitely want to do. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's been a lot of updates, but there's over 200 something plus updates every month. We're obviously focusing on the ones that are going to bring a little more value to you and more importantly, help you run your business more effectively. Hope you enjoyed this video and we'll see you in the next one.